I'm Deborah Gill with Parents TV. Having a baby is an exciting time, but it also can be filled with some dread and fear. We're going to get some helpful tips from the experts here at Providence Hospital.
Take a moment for self. Talk about it. I think that it helps them sort of explore what their feelings are around pain and what pain in childbirth means and is about and what causes it, different things they can do to help them with it, from medications to comfort techniques to the type of support system they want to set up for themselves to what they need from their care providers.
What kinds of things do you talk about in the class possibly that women can do even now before, a month or two out that could help alleviate the pain when the time comes? Or do you address those things in class as well?
Yes, I talked to them very, very briefly about diet. I also just talk to them about body awareness and being aware of where they hold tension, what their breath is like, trying to work on some of those techniques now as they prepare for their labor, and just creating a body awareness around what they might need, what they need now to help them sleep better in pregnancy, to be more comfortable in pregnancy, to just have greater body awareness so they can take that with them into the labor.
Do you prepare them at all for then what kinds of pain medications are available? Should they end up going that route and kind of prepare them for here's what's going to happen, not just...
Yes, in my third class in the 4-week series, that's primarily what I cover, is all the different hospital options. And I try to supply them with as much information as possible so that they can make an informed consent about what they want for their birth, because every woman is different, every woman is individual, and what I think is really important as any person in any life, much less medical event, they are informed and are able to make the best decision that's right for them.
What are some of the main, I think, misconceptions for the women giving birth going into the labor process? And I think one for me, although it was quite a few years ago, was that you have to be lying down the entire time, strapped to a bed, and that's not the case. That I know there's advocates that say, no, get up, walk around, do a little bit of stretching. That there's a lot of things you can do to help calm yourself down and relieve that. Do you talk about that too? What do you find from the women that they don't realize is an option for them?
Just like we have not had to give instructions to our bodies on how to grow this baby, we kind of go on an act of faith that our body knows what it's doing, and our job is just to take good care of ourselves and to get the support that we need. And labor is really the same, that our bodies really guide us and they tell us what we need. And generally what feels good is the right thing for our labor, our bodies, our babies, and what doesn't feel quite right and is more challenging and more difficult is not necessarily the right thing. And I think that it's really important that men or partners get to share that experience with the laboring mom and get to see potentially their child or a relative be born into the world. And I think there's nothing like it. And I think it's a great way to start life together when you can have this experience together and go through that first challenge as parents of bringing your baby into the world, because as we all know as parents, there are many challenges that follow after that. So it really kind of starts them on the right foot as a team, and it really does take teamwork.
What do you stress to the partner? What's the main thing for them to remember?
The main thing they need to remember is they don't need to be an expert on birth. What their role is they are an expert on their partner or the person that they're supporting, and they are there to meet their needs and to address those emotional concerns that the mom might have, to give them that emotional support that the doctor or nurse who are strangers often to the laboring mom can't really give in the same way. That part of that role is so important.
Now, what about those that may have already been told that it's possible they could have a C-section only because of certain risk factors, or it happens in the middle of birth? Okay, we've got to move into an operational kind of thing. Can you prepare them for that as well?
Well, I think the thing about birth is you can never prepare for birth fully, completely. That the important part about birth is to have a wish list, but know that the unexpected always happens. And sometimes it's a greater challenge than others, but the unexpected always happens, just like as with parents. We can't plan our children's lives ahead of time. We have to sort of go with what is presented, and birth is the same. And so I think that it's important, again, to just always be aware of your role as a birthing family, your informed consent, asking questions, asking what your options are all the way along. I think I'm just trying to change their perspective a little bit about birth. That I think a lot of women enter the experience with a lot of fear, and I think our media has not helped that. And I'm trying to just change their perspective a little bit, that this is an amazing life event, and that I want them to have it be, what I say in the first class is what I hope is they have a positive birth experience. And that doesn't mean that you can't have a positive cesarean or a positive vaginal birth. And as long as you feel like you have a voice and you can ask questions and you get the support that you need, even with the birth that really goes completely differently than you had originally hoped it would, it can still be a positive experience.
There can be a lot to learn and a lot to remember in these parenting classes, but as our instructor Meg told us, even if you can remember just a few of them, it will help the birthing process be a lot better. For Parents TV, I'm Deborah Gill.
Thank you for watching Parents TV, our families, our lives.